Hey everyone, welcome to another video. And in this video, we have Aashish Chandratreya. Did I get your last name right?
Yeah, yeah,
Awesome.
pretty much.
Pretty much. All right. So Ashish, just to give a quick introduction about Ashish. Ashish is currently in New York. Actually graduated from New York Film Academy.
Yeah,
Ashish, quick introduction about you. Who are you? Where do you come from? And what do you do?
like Parth introduced, my name is Aashish Chandratreya, and I'm originally from Mumbai, and I'm a photographer and a YouTuber now. So, a photographer before coming here, and like during the process of coming here, I turned into a YouTuber also. And like you said, I just graduated from the New York Film Academy. I was studying in their New York campus, and
Mhm.
currently I live in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn.
Your your channel goes up so quickly that it's at 187,000, or did you cross 200,000
It's
already?
at 185 right now. I mean,
185.
it's
You're
it's it
close.
just it just surprises me all the time because sometimes it grows quickly, sometimes it grows very, very, very gradually.
Right.
It's a fun experience, I would say.
Right, no, for sure. And if, first of all, whoever is watching who doesn't know Ashish already, Ashish makes a lot of video around New York, around
Hmm.
Brooklyn area. If you want to check his channel out, I'm going to leave that link in the description. Go check it out. But it's all fun-filled videos showing around New York. You know, I love the city so much. I watch all of your
Yeah.
videos. Uh, I
Thank
make
you.
sure
That's good to
as soon as you're getting out, that is me getting out.
hear.
To visit New York. So you
Hmm.
graduated from New York Film Academy, and
Hmm.
usually most of the international students I interact with comes from engineering or business backgrounds, right?
Yeah.
Tell us in few words what made you make the decision of choosing US for a conservatory course at NYFA, and tell us a little bit about your course as well.
Okay, so to start with, what is a conservatory course? So a conservatory course is a shorter program than what a MFA or a BFA would be. So a conservatory course is a 1 year course, and I mean it usually, like, as per the semesters go over here, it lasts typically for 8 months. So that's what is a 1 year as compared to, I think, the US education system. So it's basically a 1 year course. You can, like, some may also call it like a diploma course. So it's basically a very intensive kind of course wherein you get almost like the knowledge that's similar to MFA or BFA levels, but then it's all combined to one course. So like that's what I used to tell my friends who are doing MS in the US, that I was actually very, like, much busier than what they were during their first years, because, like, for me, I had classes Monday to Friday every day from at least 9 to 4:30, and some days even 9 to 6:30.
Wow.
And apart from that, we had to complete assignments on Saturday and Sunday. So it was like a very, very busy course. So, like, when the course started, our head of the department actually told us, like, call up your parents and tell them that you won't be possibly going, like, be able to call them for a year. And
Right.
pretty much that was how serious the course was. So it's like very, very intensive. So that's about what a conservatory course exactly is. And like, why US? So, like, we all know how this country actually appreciates art. So, like, for me,
What
I was like a,
Ashish,
yeah,
sorry to cut you off there. One thing is, like, can you tell us, like, what is BFA, MFA, and you are doing
sure.
a conservatory course in photography, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I was doing the conservatory course in photography. A BFA would be a Bachelor of Fine Arts, and
right,
MFA would be Master of Fine Arts. And, like, then you can choose your stream. Like, some people go for photography. You may also go for filmmaking.
right, right,
So
right.
coming back to the point, why US for the arts? So, like, we all know, like, how this country actually appreciates art, because it's not just that it's the mindset of the people that's very open to arts as a field of education. Because I know that in India, like, I was very lucky that my parents were very supportive when I chose to take a field of photography. But then I do get messages from a lot of subscribers asking me about how to actually convince their parents to take up the arts field as, like,
Right.
as a career option. So in India, it's like still a little difficult. Here, it's like people are very open to the arts field, and everyone appreciates art. So I actually like it here. So another thing, like, I was a conventional photographer. Like, I shoot things that look good, and then try to use my techniques. And like I don't deal with a lot of changing perspectives and doing those stuff. So for me, understanding fine art was a very difficult thing, like, especially when I was in India. So like when I came here, talking to teachers, and we went to museums like the Met, and we saw a lot of galleries.
As an artist, you chose the right city to be in. I think New
Yeah,
York is the
obviously.
best. New York is the best place to be in if you're like a filmmaker, a photographer, or any kind of artist, so as to say.
True. I mean, like for filmmakers, I think even LA would be a good option. But then there's something about New York and art, especially with all these museums and everything.
Right.
I just want to
Sure.
clear that, like, I'm not saying anything, like, I'm not going against my own country, where I talk about the art, because like even in India you have a lot of art, and you have people who actually appreciate art. But then when you come here, it's like access is very easy, and
Right.
you can get into art groups, you can talk to people very easily as compared to like maybe some other place. So
Right.
that's one
So
point I would like.
on the note of being in New York, what is the one most interesting experience you had from the first week when you came to New York or when you came to the US?
So I remember like when we landed. So I was with my friend and her going to be roommate. So like the first week was busy with having thoughts of firstly finding an apartment for them, because like for me, I had talked to like my current roommates on Facebook. I had given them like a basic payment, because I know usually people don't pay in advance, but then these guys, I talked to them. They felt very trustworthy, and the people, like the token amount they were asking for was just 50. So it wasn't like half of the room rent, or like half of the complete month's rent. So it was fine. So they were pretty understanding. So I actually like I had peace of mind for myself the first week. As in, I think the second day we went to the Brooklyn Bridge, and also to the lane where Kalhuna was shot.
Yeah.
So if you see those all those bungalows, the street. So I was reading about it since like a few days, and I was like, I need to explore this place. So we actually went into Brooklyn, and we saw those lanes, and I shot a video there. I think it has almost like 2 or 3 hundred thousand views
Wow.
now. I mean, and a lot of people actually saw it. So because I had not seen any particular YouTuber actually going to that lane. People go to Brooklyn Bridge, but like like not a lot of people do realize that the exact house and the exact street is right there in Brooklyn. I know in the
Right.
movie they have said that it's in Queens. So in
Right.
Kaluna they have said that it's in Queens, but then it's actually in Brooklyn. So
Uh-huh.
that was interesting. And obviously, then we went from there. We went to the Brooklyn Bridge. We walked on it, and the first sight of seeing the Brooklyn Bridge and the New York City in the background was like really really memorable, because you have Har Gadi Badal Rahi Hai in the background,
Yeah.
and playing in your mind, and then you see. I mean, even if I go now, I still get those chills of actually seeing the Brooklyn Bridge and the background. That is one view that never gets old.
From Brooklyn Bridge to Central Park to celebrating even Navratri in New Jersey, and that place is amazing. That
Yeah,
place is a little India.
yeah, it
You've done more stuff in a year than I've done in three. What is your
is.
favorite experience, or what is your favorite place which you have been in the US up
you,
until now?
so after coming here, it's like I've had a lot of different type of typical New York experiences, and usually I'm that kind of a person who doesn't like typical things that people usually do.
Hmm.
Like maybe going out for some special event or something like that. So like after coming here, I started appreciating those things a lot, because probably I was away from my family, and then it's always nice to be with friends and like go out and celebrate a festival like Navratri or something.
Right.
But I think the most memorable was when Nikhil, Chandis, and my friend Shubit came over here. So like the four of us and my friend Saili, we went to the ball drop like for New Year's Eve.
For the
So
New
I
Year's.
like most of my New Year's Eves I have spent mostly sleeping at my house, because the next day I was like, I need to go out and ride on the first day of the new year and see the first sunrise with some beautiful scenic location. But then this year I gave it a thought, and I thought that maybe I could change, because either ways I didn't have a bike to ride on. So I was like,
Right.
I would rather go with my friends and experience the ball drop. So we were in the line for almost 3 or 4 hours, I think, and it was like everyone squishing you and like a lot of crowd. And I don't usually like crowds, so I probably get a little anxious when I'm in crowds. So maybe it was short of getting a panic attack or something, but it was probably like a great experience because like even though people are pushing you, and then somehow with like our luck, we actually got to go to like the very front,
Oh, nice.
as in near the ball drop. So that was a lot of fun, and I think actually witnessing the ball drop and all the confetti that comes in, and all the lights and everything, that was really special because I had decided that if I go there, I'm just going there once and never again because I don't
But
want to experience that crowd again. But then that once was really, really special, and
yeah, but that's
especially
a good thing.
when the ball drops and then Frank Sinatra's New York starts, and I mean, I am actually still getting the goosebumps thinking about that.
Right. Right.
That was
I
one
think
memorable experience.
before running the YouTube channel, which is now at 185,000 subscribers within the 9 months, which is crazy, you
Yeah, even I'm shocked. I don't believe.
people knew and loved you from Mumbiker Nikhil's video. If you do not know about Mumbiker Nikhil's channel, I'm going to leave the link in description. He's a great YouTuber. I used to watch him all the time, and I still watch some of the videos. I loved when he used to go on the rides, and that's what you did as well with him.
Yeah.
What's one thing which Nikhil has taught you, which you use in your life regularly, or what's one advice which he has given you?
Sure. So, like, since you talked about rides, so I've been on many, many rides with him. Like, we have traveled together like, we have done from Bombay to Vishakhapatnam in 27 hours non-stop without taking on. That's around 1,400 kilometers. We have gone from Mumbai to Nepal, then Mumbai to Ladakh and back. And so we have, like, done a lot of rides. And during these rides, after, like, riding for more than 12 hours straight, having completed more than like couple of 100 kilometers, maybe like 800, 900 kilometers. The one thing that I wanted to do after reaching a hotel was just like lie on the bed and doze off.
Right.
But what I used to see him doing was he actually used to like start transferring all the data. I mean, of the vlog that he did during the ride, and then he also like started editing. So I was like, where does he get so much of energy from? And that's one thing. Like dedication is one thing that I've actually learned, and it actually helps you in a lot of ways. I mean, not just YouTube, but then like whatever thing that you are doing in life, it tells me that if you're actually dedicated and you want to give your everything to the thing that you're passionate about, it can actually help you, building up your career really well. So I think
Right.
dedication is like if I have to pick up one thing, then dedication towards your work and the smartness is definitely the thing that I've learned from it.
And I can see that dedication coming to your YouTube channel because
Oh, I mean,
you
for me,
you
it was
are
very.
vlogging almost like every day. It's like
I should thank him because the motivation actually comes from him. That
yeah,
because like I was a very lazy person back at home because all I used to do was like stay up till 4 in the morning and then get like sleep and get up at around 10 or 12. But then ever since I've come to New York, the thing has changed because it actually like YouTube actually motivates me to go out do something. And I remember how Nikhil would actually like put a lot of effort in making vlogs. As in like for him it was effortless because he's a natural, but
yeah.
like take the efforts to go out, shoot, and then plan, and, like put content that's very interesting for the audience. So that's what motivated me after coming here. So I used to wake up at around 8, go to sleep at 12 sharp after uploading a video. So that actually changed. Like coming to New York and getting motivated by him and starting YouTube, like all of these things actually helped me change what I was before.
As everyone know that NYC is the area which has been hit the most with COVID-19. How are things changed
Yeah.
now, and how it's living in the city?
Initially, the things that I hate are having to wait in a line at Costco and at Patel Brothers whenever I go.
Yeah,
At Costco, the line is like, I mean, I think even you must have experienced that. It's at least like a block around the
right.
place. And with Patel Brothers, it's like at least 15 minutes sometimes. or 20 minutes that you have to actually wait outside in the line. So that's one thing. But like in my neighborhood, we have some cool supermarkets. So it's
Uh-huh.
pretty much the same. I mean, nowadays we are getting stock. So initially, people are a little scared of not getting stock, and people were piling up things. It was a little airy to see the city being so deserted, because especially
Right.
I went out in short when it actually started, and people were asked to
Right.
stay home and everyone was scared. So like Broadway was empty, Times Square was empty, like many other places like Battery Park. When you actually see a lot of tourists going on the Statue of Liberty
Right.
boat, so that was empty. Financial district was empty. So looking at these places, which are usually full, and like that's what New York is basically. So all of these places were like empty, and seeing those places like that was a little, hurting also, because that's not what New York actually looks like. But then now people have started going out. So like if there are any residential neighborhoods, people go out often, because like in mine, you get everything very easily. You don't actually have to stand in a line. So that's pretty good. People go out on walks, like I said earlier. So it's slowly starting to get better nowadays.
It's good. 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 Uh, on that note, one last question for you, Ashish.
Mm-hmm.
What's next? What's next? What kind of work? Freelancing, YouTube. What's next for you?
So for me, I've started looking for photography jobs, and if I could get something like like as an assistantship with a photographer or something like that, I will be continuing with YouTube, because that's. I've heard Nikhil saying this, that if you start doing YouTube, you cannot stop, because you
Right. Yeah.
somehow get addicted to it,
It's an
and
endless
I'm
thing.
sure it's happening the same way for me as well.
It's
So
always you keep thinking about it no matter what.
yeah, and for me it actually helped me, because I always used to take these time lapses, take B rolls. So now it's like a proper way of putting it out. And I was a huge introvert earlier, but now I've started speaking more to the camera,
It's good.
interacting with my audience, so I really feel nice about it. So I'll be continuing with YouTube. I'll be looking for some photography jobs, because luckily, even though like the immigration offices were shut for a while, but I got my OPT approved. So like it starts probably like it starts in July. So
Okay.
because initially my parents were going to come, so I took like the 60 days thing, wherein you can start working after 60 days, because I kept 1 month for myself for looking for some jobs and everything. And then like 1 month was from May 15 to June 15 was I was going to spend with my parents. So
Right.
yeah, that was it. But then since that's not happening, I've already started looking for some jobs. I'll start applying to various photographers for like assistantship or something like that, because that actually gives you a very nice insight of the
Portfolio.
industry and how the
Right.
photography industry works.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
No, that's great, man. That's great. Thank you for motivating us. Again, if you haven't checked out
My,
Ashish's
my
channel,
pleasure.
please, I'll leave the link in description. Ashish, we should totally make a separate video on just the photography course which you're doing and talking about that.
Oh,
I know
sure.
you have made a video and I'm gonna leave that link in description as well. So if you're interested in photography or any of the courses in New York Film Academy, see engineering and all of these, like there's so much information, but courses like yours, there's a lot less information.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
thank you for sharing
right.
so much of it around. Um,
Sure.
but any ending remarks you have, anything you want to say to the audience to motivate them, anything?
Uh, I'm not really the motivator types. I'm still in the stage where I actually get motivated. But then I would just say that love what you do, and if you actually uh, love what you do and do what you love. So
Right.
if you actually do that, so you don't actually have to stress out a lot for going on the path of career that you have chosen.
Right.
So it's fine to someday turn your hobbies into your careers, because like that's what I did. Like for photography, it started with a hobby, and now I take it as a career path. So
Right.
it's fine doing that, because it's all about how passionate you are towards it. So if you are a lot passionate and you actually do what you love. So you'll start putting out work, you'll start making contacts on your own, and you'll somehow get there. Because like that's like I'm speaking about arts field in general, because people are usually scared of taking this field, because or they always think that how would I make a living out of it. And I have
Right.
so many friends who actually do like pretty well, even after selecting the arts field. So it's not that the field of arts is like behind, or it's very difficult or something. It's just upon you that in the initial stages it is difficult, but slowly it like things turn out pretty good.
No,
It's it all like to put it in a very small sentence, it's like it's all difficult till you get your first gig, and
right.
after that it's like it just builds up.
Right. No, great, man. Thank you so much, Ashish, for doing this.
No problem.
Especially,
Thank you for.
yeah, especially the COVID-19 situation right now, Zoom calls works fine. But
Yeah,
thank you
yeah.
so much for being on board with this. And yeah, I'm gonna leave the link of Ashish's channel and some of the videos he has talked about in the description. You can go check it out. Subscribe if you haven't to his and my channel. And take care.
Okay, bye bye.
All right, Ashish. Thank you.